read any of these?
I read all of them, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
You
I
can,
have a library too. I haven't read any of them.
so point it. You can test me. I'll tell you if I've read it or not. It's 95% I've read them.
You read The Negotiating Game?
Yep.
Wow. Sounds like a good one. That's the one I will read first.
Right.
Wow, dude. Wow, really? You got that much time?
Well, some of them are school books, and sometimes I used to read like probably 50 or 60 books a year.
What, do you just read every night?
Yeah, but now you know what happened?
What happened? Oh, you got audiobook. Yeah. That's how I
No,
feel.
just a phone.
Oh, you just got a phone.
You're scrolling. You're
you're
doing all this stuff you shouldn't be doing, and
right.
life is ticking by.
Yeah. Is there an intro, or are we just going into it?
I think it's nice. I've started to want people to say who they are at least off the top.
Right.
So why don't you say who you are, and then we'll just get into it.
Cool, man. I am. Am I speaking to people? Am I speaking to you? I'm just talking to you.
What do you mean?
So I'm like, hey guys, what's up? I'm Neel Nanda. Is this an MTV intro, or is this just?
I think it's more chill podcast intro.
Cool.
You're talking to me, but people are listening.
Yeah,
They're
cool,
out
man.
there. Look, camera one,
What's
camera
up?
two,
What's up?
camera three.
Hey, I am. I'm Neel Nanda. I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
I live in Los Angeles, and we're buddies. I'm a buddy of Latif's.
We are. We first met, I think, officially, like bonded met on the ride down to
San Diego.
Madhouse Comedy.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
That was fun.
I've been listening to Mariah Carey in preparation.
I think you should. That's the only way to do it. And
What a banging greatest hits album.
what a banging karaoke session me, you, and Blaustein had.
Oh, right. That was pretty fire.
That was pretty fun.
It's pretty fire, dude.
I'm not a karaoke person,
You're
but
not?
no.
Oh, I'm a karaoke person. You don't have, like, go-tos or anything?
I've never done it.
You've never done it?
No.
All right, guys. We're going to take Latif to karaoke. Like, what are you doing tonight?
Tonight I'm going to Mike Birbiglia.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah, the new ones. I'm excited.
Cool. What you got? We got to make this happen. I'm going to text you. We're going to figure this
we'll
out
figure it
because this
out.
is a problem.
But even though I have some musical ability, I have terrible pitch.
Is that what it? Well, you can rap. You could throw on a rap song.
I could rap.
Yeah, there you go. Like, that's the cheat for karaoke. If you can't sing, just like forgot about Dre it. You know?
Oh, that's a pretty.
It's
Like
a
the Eminem verse or the Dre verse?
Either one, man.
Can't do the Eminem verse.
You can't do the M verse? Seriously?
No.
Come on, man. That was the first, I think, rap verse I ever learned.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
I was obsessed.
Neil.
Obsessed with Eminem.
I could see it.
Yeah.
What's your go-to at karaoke then?
My go-to, and it's a weird go-to now that everyone knows he has herpes, but I always go with Usher. I always go with, like, You Got It Bad.
I wish I could sing You Got It Bad.
Oh, I go with, and I even air guitar the guitar solo.
No, you don't.
I do. You get enough alcohol in me, I will air guitar the guitar, and I do the dance too. You know how he does the dance in the rain?
Yeah, you do that?
I do the dance.
This is incredible.
You didn't know that? That's why we got
No,
to do
we're
karaoke.
going.
I'll let you know, man.
Oh my god.
I do the You Got It Bad. I remember last time I did it. They had like a mic that had a cord. And I was doing the spinning the mic move, and the whole crowd was cheering. Like, I'm killing it. But then the dude DJ running the karaoke goes, please, sir, don't do that. Like, while I'm spinning. It was the most
man, that's good.
I was fucked up. We were in Vegas, and I was like, you got it bad. I spun the mic, and everyone cheered. And then he goes,
wow.
Sir, please don't spin the mic. That's you're going to be kicked out of the bar. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't know.
Right. You got a guy with just like a watering can pouring the rain on you.
Totally rained on my parade. But I always go with You Got It Bad. Love in This Club is another good one.
Yeah.
And then Love in This Club is tough, though. It's a little bit out of my range, to be honest.
Yeah.
What's the other You? There's You Got It Bad, and there's
another Usher song?
Yeah, he always started his songs with You.
You Remind Me?
You Remind Me was a good one. He would start his
That's
songs.
the easier one to sing, except for the solo.
Yeah, except for the solo. Yeah, there's no solo. No guitar solo, at least.
Yeah, or the bridge where he really hits those
right.
ad-libs.
Yeah, he really hits that.
Yeah.
Confessions is a good one. But yeah, You Got It Bad's good because you can get like everyone in on the like, I'm your man, you're my girl, and then you're like, ladies say, and then you like put the microphone out, and ladies sing it, dude. You gotta.
I felt it.
Yeah, you felt it.
I didn't do it, but
I
wanted to.
But you wanted to say, yeah, I feel that, man. We gotta go karaoke. I'm gonna hit you up.
Blaustein's got good pitch too.
Oh, Blaustein's a great singer.
When he was doing the Mariah Carey stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tries though. I don't like when people try. I don't like when people like, like when people get into it. You know.
You have to try to hit Mariah Carey.
You have to try. I feel that. But you never know somebody who like pretends to casually sing, but they can really sing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they'll just put on a song. They'll just be like, walk by every. And they're like going for
this
it.
This is you.
That's not. It's a little bit of me. A little bit of me. You know.
Yeah. I still think we should make me and Blau a shot-for-shot remake of "Always Be My Baby."
I'm into it.
We just had to shoot who's going to be in the tire swing.
Oh, right. The tire swing. That's not the one where she was on top of the car, right?
No, that's fantasy. Yeah.
Okay, word. Oh yeah, the tire swing.
The tire swing, and you're kind of touching the water. I guess maybe we can all have a scene.
We can all be in the tire swing. Why don't we all be in the tire swing
at the same
time? Yeah, I'm down.
All right.
I'm into it.
Viral video moment. So you're a comedian. You tour all around. You're originally from where?
I'm from Atlanta originally.
Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
ATL.
I'm from. You know what's funny?
That's why you're Usher kick.
Honestly, it is. It is, and I have so much Atlanta pride.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the music is insane, it's insane. I was just back there in March, and we get songs on our radio that you don't get.
Really?
Absolutely not. It's so funny because
like hip hop R&B songs.
We get hip hop and R&B songs that the rest of the country doesn't get.
Right.
I think it's just rappers in Atlanta going to radio stations with their mixtapes.
Right.
Like, yo, please play this shit.
Like on the show Atlanta.
Exactly, like on the show Atlanta. And I grew up thinking everyone knew this shit.
Right.
I'll be at a party here and I'll throw on a track and I'll be like, I got a condo around my neck, girl. I'm cashing out, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you?
What
saying?
are you talking about?
What are you talking? Yeah, what are you talking about?
What is that?
That's cash out.
Cash out?
You don't know what cash out is.
I don't know cash out.
Knows what the fuck cash out is. You probably didn't get like Lil Scrap.
No.
Oh man, this is so sad. But yeah, I think these were just rappers in Atlanta and
Right.
the whole South. It's funny because I'll throw it on and like one girl from Tennessee will be like, "I know what you're talking about."
Yeah, yeah.
Or like one guy from like South Carolina will be like, "Yeah, I know.
Right.
I know about cash out." And I was just back there, and I didn't recognize any of the rappers on the radio. It's all, like here, it's just all hits.
Right.
It's all mainstream shit.
Yeah.
I went back to Atlanta, and I was expecting to hear the same shit.
Right.
And I specifically listened to I don't listen to the radio, because we got Bluetooth and we got,
That's what's nice about it's inspiring to hear that Atlanta has its own scene like that because most of society is now just the monoculture.
Right.
Everywhere is the same. Starbucks, the same. The same music, the same hits.
The South got something to say.
Wow.
That's Outcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was
the Source
Andre
Awards.
3000. Yeah, Source Awards.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was the Source Awards when that happened, and there was just the Wu-Tang's going up, and
yeah, there was what was it?
Death
Suge
Row's
Knight,
going, and Puff's going up, and Biggie.
Yeah. That was wild. And
they
then the South got something to say.
I can't believe you could feel the show just losing control.
Yeah.
As it was going, it was insane.
It was insane.
Yeah.
But the South does have something to say. I really appreciate that about the culture in Atlanta.
To ATLians,
is
an amazing record.
Incredible album.
Yeah.
Incredible album.
Aquemini is great. They're pretty much all great.
Outkast is phenomenal. They really are. I wish they were still making music.
There's no good duos anymore. Or are there duos? Can you name
I don't know. Yeah, I can.
Not even a good...
Name a more iconic duo.
What about no, you can't. Well, Eric B and Rakim, but only one's rapping.
Yeah, I mean,
P Rock and CL Smooth.
I missed the Yin Yang Twins a little bit too.
That's your Atlanta talking.
I have a funny story. They came and played at my college once.
Yeah.
And they were like, they're hype, and they were pouring Grey Goose into the front row's mouth.
Okay.
And they got fined because they were pouring it into like 19-year-old kids' mouths.
Oh wow.
Because you're out of college, there's freshmen there,
right,
and stuff, and so they got like a huge fine for like getting kids drunk
under the age.
Yeah,
you'd probably get a fine even if you weren't.
Yeah, probably. Probably because we do it's so funny because they did that. I do colleges now, and they're like, "All right, you can't say sex. You can't say, and they give me all these things. I'm like, Why did they just pour Grey Goose?
Did you ever slip it out and get fined or?
No, I've never really been. I kind of I play by the rules generally when I have rules. For me, it's like it's so funny because I hear so many comics that are like, "Oh man, it sucks playing colleges or
Right.
corporates or whatever. I'm like, hey, if you don't want that $3,500, I'll take it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like it's selling out or anything. I'm not presenting myself as that comedian. You know, I'm not like putting that online or being like, this is me. I'm just like, I'm here to make a check. It's funny because
Right. If you want me, I'll do my thing, and you're just know who I am, but I'll conform to your.
I'll play by the
guidelines.
rules.
Yeah,
Like, it's
play by
funny.
the rules. Yeah.
It's funny because it's like Jerry Seinfeld and Chris Rock won't. I'm like, because they don't need to.
Right. He actually came out recently and said that he never said that.
Oh, that's funny.
Seinfeld said he said that other comedians he knows said they won't play colleges, and then
Right.
it kind of got taken out of context.
Of course, everything gets taken out of context.
Yeah. The college thing sounds really fun and interesting. I've never done it, but you seem to have a good foothold in there.
You know what's interesting is I've heard so many horror stories.
Yeah.
From comedians doing colleges.
I have a lot of bits about doing.
A lot of bits like I thought I was in a cafeteria and everyone was throwing food, you know,
Right,
whatever. Yeah. And I hear so many horror stories. But what's interesting, what I've realized doing colleges is that it's set up by college students. When we were in college, did you have any knowledge of how to set up a stand-up comedy show?
No.
At all. Even if you were interested in comedy, even if you watched comedy, even if you had been to a club, even if you had performed comedy.
It's trial and error. You try new things and it works, and this you adjust.
Exactly. So these horror stories come from comedians who just show up and then trust a 19-year-old to set up your show. I don't do that. I show up early. I get there the day of. I meet the student, whoever's setting up, or the club, or the advisor. Right. I go to the venue. If the show's at 8 p.m., I'm at the venue at noon. Okay? I show up at noon, and I go, all right, we're fixing the seating. What's the lighting like? What's the sound?
Yeah.
I set up the show.
Right.
I have avoided horrendous situations, and then I coach the guy who's hosting. I go, this is how you bring me up. You know, because a lot of times they'll be either comedians, or they'll be, or they won't have any experience doing comedy, they'll just be like a club leader.
Yeah, they'll give you the Neel Nanda. He's a comedian.
Yeah, starting in Atlanta, Georgia, when he was 19 years old. Neel Nanda has traveled from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll coach them on how to intro me.
And then they've already said your name, so they have to be, and give it up for him.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. and which, by the way, I've coached people when they still fuck up.
Yeah,
you know, of course. And but I will go to the school, I will go to the venue, and I will make sure everything is as, you know, as good as I can make the venue, as much as I can finesse the situation, I will. And I haven't had, I mean, I don't even think I've had a bad experience, because it's like the only reason to have a bad experience is if they set it up horribly, which they're going to, unless you intervene.
Yeah, tell them to put the people in the front first.
Right.
And,
well, I did a college recently in Ohio, and I walked into the room, and they had like ballroom style tables.
What?
Like the circle tables. I'm like, oh, so like half the crowd's not going to be looking at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I got there like 3-4 hours before the show.
Yeah.
I was like, can we get rid of these tables? And they were like, yeah. And then they got like 5 college students and we folded up all these tables and we rolled them out of the room.
Yeah.
And then we took all the chairs and just made rows. And it was a great show.
Yeah.
It was an amazing show.
Even like Bar Lubitsch, I'm sure you've done tons of shows there. The Jetpack guys, they kind of go the extra effort to like put people in the middle first, like organize the chairs, like get there early. And it makes such a huge difference. Like
it makes a world of
their
difference.
show is so much better than, you know, a lot of the shows there.
Lighting, sound, these kind of things make such a huge
There's a comedian, I wish I remember, I was just listening to some other pod about it, and he's like, I don't care what you say, just say my name last. Because that's like, you know, that's like the ultimate fuck up if you don't say it.
I don't think that can deter a show, though.
No, but it just like...
I get that, but it's like, for me, I don't really care about I care about the intro, like, yeah, sure, do your best, but I've had so many people fuck up my name, fuck up
my
credits.
Name.
Dude, I can't tell you how many people have said I've been on Conan. I've never been on. I always go, hey, Jimmy Kimmel and Comedy Central, and they go, Jimmy Kimmel and Conan, and I'm like, no, that's not what I said. But I'm not gonna be like, well, I wasn't on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just gotta let it go.
Yeah, you just let it go. I had last week. Somebody said I was on Conan, and I was like, I guess I was on Conan.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
cool.
Soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely messed up and had my share of mess ups.
Sure.
For my name,
And
I have a tough one.
That's why it doesn't bother me. That's why the
No.
intro isn't a make or break for me.
No, but it helps. It helps to know, like, because it gets them.
Right.
You know, I don't think the naming of credits matters because they don't know.
Mhm.
Most of these things, the crowd doesn't know what you're talking about anyway.
Sure. Yeah. Since I've worked so hard to get a late night set and to be on Comedy Central, and it's like no one watches television anymore.
Right.
And it's funny because I'll tour now and I'll pack out a club, and it'll be my fans or my people that follow me that come out to the show, and then there's always a table of like 55 to 68-year-olds, and I go, what the fuck? Who are these people?
Right.
I always talk to them, and every time like, oh, we saw you on Kimmel.
Oh wow.
I was like, oh, that's the audience.
Yeah.
And they came through. You know,
Right.
it's always
It's a loyal audience.
They're a loyal audience.
Yeah.
They are. And but they're like very few. In every city I'll run into like 10.
Yeah.
And then they're always like 55 to 70.
Yeah.
Very rarely is it someone, you know, and if they did see me on Kimmel, it was because they had seen other stuff and
Right.
like Googled it or like YouTubed me,
Yeah.
you know.
Did you feel that experience on Conan or?
You just did it. See
on Kimmel, it's so
to do.
easy.
Yeah, it's a
It's
funny
so
they all
easy.
have Kimmel, Conan, Corden. It's like they all have the
Oh
similar,
yeah.
you know,
Late show,
two
late
syllables. Yeah.
night, late
Exactly.
night. Your experience was a good one. Did it propel you to a different level? Do you feel that if you had done it or had not done it, would it have made a difference in your career?
I think it did make I think it made a difference for sure. I also, for me, it was just like something I'd always wanted to do.
Right.
Something I grew up watching late night and late night sets. I didn't grow up watching it's funny because I never watched I never watched like Letterman or Leno or any of these, or Conan or any of these people, but I would watch the comic sets.
Mm-hmm.
I would either stay up, like if there was a comic I liked, I would just watch that, or I would watch it on YouTube, like in like college or high school, whatever. But I never really was into the actual show, but I was always a Kimmel fan.
Yeah.
I grew up on the Man Show. Kimmel always felt to me like the closest to a stand-up comic because it didn't feel gimmicky at all to me.
Right.
He was just a
It's
dude
kind
telling
of dry.
jokes.
Yeah.
This guy, funny, telling
Right.
jokes. So that's why I chose to do Kimmel. And when I say I chose, I had the option to do a couple other of the late night shows. Not gonna get into it because I don't want to ruin my chances of doing it in the future because I'm not trying to talk no trash.
Right.
But I had the option of doing a couple other ones, and I chose Kimmel.
Right.
And for that reason, I grew up, I liked him. And another big reason is my dad watches Kimmel. So I was like, look, Dad, I did it.
I made it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit of spite in the decision.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Right.
But I also, it was funny because he was my first choice. And I let my representation know. We sent out the clips to everybody.
Yeah.
And he was the first one to get back to me.
Right.
And my agents just said yes. Because I had told them he's my first choice.
Right.
So they immediately said, you use your first choice. We said yes. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I kind of, and then like in my
You
head,
kinda
I was
wanna
like,
see
I wanted to
which other
know.
girl's interested.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
other girl's interested,
yeah.
exactly. And then like a few weeks later, another girl's interested,
yeah.
and then a week later, so-and-so was like, hey, if you change this joke,
Right.
you know, whatever. And then I was like, then I had to tell them, no, sorry, I'm doing Kimmel,
Right.
blah, blah. And then they wanted me more, which
Right.
is so
But
funny.
you can still do it in the future.
He can still do it in the future. That's why I'm
Yeah.
not talking trash.
Right.
But I think it propelled my career. I think what it did was it legitimized me as a comedian. It was one of those things where it's like shows will just trust that I'm funny
Right.
because of it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he did late night, so we can trust him with a set on the
right.
show.
Or trust him over someone else who's trying to get on the show.
Right, exactly. And it's a thing where like prior to doing it, it was a little harder to get on shows and to do spots and to get into clubs.
Right.
But now, and I'd say it's not even like 10 times easier. It's a little easier.
Right.
It's a little bit easier with just like and showing the clip.
Yeah.
You know, that helps. But, and another thing that's really funny to me is the industry, you know, I was going out on like meetings, generals, pitches, and stuff like that after I did Kimmel. And it was funny because I had done generals and meetings and pitches and stuff prior.
Right.
And I had credits on Comedy Central, Amazon, Hulu, a bunch of other places.
Yeah.
But the tone in the room changed after doing. Oh, you were on Kimmel.
Yeah.
Oh, how was Kimmel?
But it's a tone changer even between yourself and other comics. You're like,
Sure.
and like when you're being introduced on the show, it's like,
Sure. It's funny because it only matters to comics and these what I call old heads.
right,
A lot of these general meetings, I'm meeting dudes that are 48,
right,
52, 39, 41. It's like it matters to them because it used to matter so
Right.
much. It used to be like you did Leno and then you were famous.
right.
I love that Joe Coy story about how he did Leno and the next day he was like at Bloomingdale's or some shit. And he said every customer came up to me and was like, "Oh my god, I just saw you last night. What are you doing here?"
Right.
You know, and he was like, because back then everybody watched it.
Right.
Everyone.
It's like getting into a good college. It doesn't mean one college or another is going to lead to the best success, but it's a stamp of approval,
Sure.
and that's what that
Sure.
is.
It's like Ivy League, I guess.
Yeah, or even like even a USC or something.
Right. Right.
You know,
right.
it's like, oh, you can kind of be like, all right, at least he did that.
Don't diminish my accomplishments. I'm just kidding.
Right, exactly. Oh,
No.
why do you go to
USC? Yeah. USC. Come on, dude. I went to Harvard.
I didn't go to USC, but no.
No, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely. But what's funny is I think overall, other than people like, you know, putting some value on it that's not really there.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I don't draw from it. I don't sell tickets from it.
Yeah.
I may sell 5 to 10 extra tickets from it. Maybe at most in a weekend 20 to 30 tickets from it, which is insane to me because I thought I would do it and I'd be selling out clubs, you know.
Right, yeah.
That was my mentality going into it.
Now you're probably more likely to do it from your Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the only way I've been able to sell out clubs.
Let's talk about that because you're one of the few comedians who has a draw.
Yeah. I'm beginning to have a draw, which is awesome, and I'm excited about it. And it's funny because I'm still nervous about it. I'm still nervous about like doing it's cool because so far I've been since I've developed the following and the draw.
Yeah.
I've been touring and I've sold out everything, which is really cool, but I still freak out.
Why do you freak out?
I freak out because I'll go to a city I've never been to, or I'll do a venue I've never done, or a venue that's 300 seats or 400 seats, and I go, fuck, I've never sold that many seats.
Right.
I don't know. I'm doing 4 shows. How am I going to sell 1,200 seats and it'll sell out?
Yeah.
You know. I did the math wrong. 1,600 seats.
It's okay.
I gotta correct myself, dude. My math is getting worse.
Right, yeah,
because
weed, comedy,
and comedy and
Right.
marijuana.
Yeah.
It's so funny, dude. I was so good at math like 6 months ago. I don't know
Right.
what.
6 months ago.
I don't know what.
6 months ago,
happened.
he's doing differential calculus.
Straight up, I was doing
Yeah.
differential equations out here, dude. I was at the integral, and
Yeah.
now my girlfriend's like correcting my math, and I'm like, "You're white.
Why are you doing math?
What? I don't know. Just like
Oh,
what I just did, like
10%.
Yeah. Or like,
tipping.
okay, so I make 80% of the, whatever, the door, and then my whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I still get nervous. I still get really nervous because this is very new to me. You know, I've gained about 30. It's 29,000. I'll say 30,000 because it'll be by the end of this week or by the end of next week. I've built 30,000 followers in the last 7 months.
Wow.
Which is a lot. It's about 1,000 a week. A little more than 1,000 a week.
And is that from clipping?
That's from dropping clips and hitting the algorithm and getting good engagement and people sharing. And it scares me because this is the first time I've had that many people watching my shit or that many people following me. And when I go on the road, I'm like, are they here? Are they in Chicago? Are they in DC? They're everywhere, and you can check where they are based on your analytics. So
Your Instagram analytics.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like to go to cities where I have a lot of people. And it's funny because the most people I have are in LA.
Right.
But LA people are lazy as fuck, dude.
There's so many options in LA.
There's too many options. And
so
then
many
it's
shows, too.
I'm like, hey, I got a show in Santa Monica. And people are like, I live in North Hollywood. I live in Los Feliz. Let me know when you're in Los Feliz. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
It's like a zone. You can do your own LA tour.
Yeah, exactly. I could. I absolutely could.
That'd actually be a really funny
That'd be really fun.
tour.
I should
do the
do
LA
that.
tour.
Yo, I should do that.
And one night you just go to different areas.
Yeah, be like, oh, I'm gonna be. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. East side, West side, and like Hollywood.
And Santa Monica.
Yeah,
And in your. You have one of the best shows in Santa Monica.
Oh, thanks, man.
At West Side.
Thanks, buddy. I'll do like Santa Monica, Hollywood, and then like Los Feliz or like Echo Park or some shit.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. It's funny. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
funny. I'll do like on a Saturday or Friday or something. It's a good idea because that happens constantly. I get people coming out,
Right.
but like it's so funny because I have the biggest draw in LA, and then I have the fewest people come
Right.
out in Los Angeles. New York is my second or third biggest, and I get so people are just down.
Yeah. Well, you did Caroline's, right?
I did Caroline's.
Yeah.
Sold out Caroline's.
Wow.
I did the comic strip,
Mhm.
pre-sold out the comic strip, which was a dream come true. That was nice to me because it's like I could sell shit out, but it
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
be like the day before, the day of.
Yeah.
I sold out the comic strip like a week prior.
That's nice. You're getting on a flight knowing it's sold out.
It was very nice.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
very nice. Like knowing, like a week before doing the show, I didn't have to like I didn't have to be like, please, promo
Right.
code, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It's
And-
free now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
free. Everybody, please
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
I'm barking outside the show. Comedy.
Right, yeah. Free comedy.
Free comedy.
Free breadsticks.
Yeah, free breadsticks. So yeah, I did Caroline's with the comic strip. I've done I did Broadway.
Okay.
I've done a bunch of shows in New York, and it's It's cool because I'll do New York, and even if people don't make, and it's cool because I'll sell that out, and I'll do obviously when you're in New York, you don't just do like 3 shows.
Right.
You don't do one show. So I'll promote the one show I'm headlining because I'm doing an hour.
Yeah.
And that way I can get my people out to see an actual show
Right.
of mine, as opposed to like, hey, come to the Creek in the Cave and see me do 8.
Yeah,
You know?
and then you got to leave right away.
Then I
maybe.
gotta
Yeah.
bounce to
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
another spot. But so I will sell out these shows, and it's cool because I'll do a bunch of other shows, and at almost every show there's somebody.
Right.
Whether it's like 4 people or 25 people.
Yeah. Well, sometimes maybe they couldn't get a ticket because your thing was sold out.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Well, like where something will sell out, and then they'll be like, "Oh, dude, sucks." Oh, and I'm like, "Well, I have 14, or like 27 other shows. Just go
Yeah.
to one
Come
of
see
those."
you do a set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of people coming to other shows too. New York really comes out.
Yeah.
They really show up.
Dude, I'm so excited. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, New York's so much fun.
Tomorrow
man.
morning,
You have a great
4
time.
a.m. Oh boy.
Ooh, you're leaving like tonight, 4 a.m.
I guess it's technically tonight. The flight's at 5:30,
a.m. So what? Are you gonna be? At
so I
the
got to be
airport
there
at
like
3?
4:30.
Jeez.
So I'll probably leave here at
You
4.
pre-check?
Pre-check.
Okay.
Going that early, you skip all the traffic.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And I have a show that night, so I don't want to miss it.
Yeah. Get some rest. Fly in,
Get some rest, yeah.
do your show. Yeah, New York is so much fun,
Yeah.
man. I did last trip I was there, I did a 6-show night for the first time in my life, which is I know there's comedians like I did 14.
Whatever.
Yeah, like fuck you, man. But I
6 is a lot.
it was a lot, and
All
I
in Manhattan or around outside of Manhattan?
did all in Manhattan.
Okay.
All in Manhattan. So it was doable.
Yeah.
Well, the
doable.
only problem, and I'm going to say problem, was I did one in the Upper West Side. And that fucked me up a little bit. I had to take an Uber from that one, and then all the other ones I made it either walking or on the train.
Yeah.
So I had one in Upper West Side, the first one in Upper West Side.
Yeah.
And then I had to get to Lower East Side. Like the guy was like pressuring. It's so funny how much they're like, dude, you're up in like 15 or whatever. And I show up and they're like, oh, there's 3 more comics.
Right.
I hate that shit.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
time. Every time someone's like, oh, dude, you're up. Dude, like, I got stall or whatever. And then like you show up and there's like, yeah, you got like 45. I'm like,
Maybe he was stalling though.
what? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, or maybe what it is. What I think it is like people weren't there.
Yeah.
yet, and then people had shown up.
Right.
I think
right.
that's what happens. Is
Yeah.
like he's like, fuck, nobody's here. Neil, we need you. And then like 2 dudes show up.
Right.
And he's
right.
like, oh, we don't. You're good.
Yeah, the dude who was supposed to go after you shows up.
Right.
then
And he's like, yeah, I'll go. Yeah, all right.
yeah, I'm
I
ready.
gotta go. Yeah.
Can I go up now? And
Right.
whatever. And you're
or
not there.
Or somebody's like, yo, can I go up? And they're like, all right, I got you.
Yeah. Oh, the fun stuff of running. I can't imagine running a comedy club would be just so stressful.
So stressful. I barely like running a show, man.
Yeah.
It's so stressful.
It's super rewarding, but
It is.
also a lot of work.
So much work, so much stress, so much. Like every week, I got somebody or something to deal with.
Yeah,
Every week, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did 6 shows that night, and I made it to all of them. Upper West Side. Then I did 3 in the Lower East Side, 1 in the West Village.
Mhm.
Oh, the last one was so funny. The last one was. It was so. I documented this too.
Yeah.
I had a cameraman follow me around to all these shows.
That's smart.
So I
You
did
really gotta have a cameraman all the time.
pretty much.
Even if you don't get anything, like what if you do?
Yo, shout out to Josh, by the way. This was a big plug in New York. This was really cool. This guy,
Just a guy named Josh?
Josh, man.
Okay. He knows who he is?
He knows you know who you are. he filmed me that night, and I got to give him. It was insane because what I do in every city is I learned this from another comic because he'll like go to a city and he'll be like, yo, who's got the plug for like fried chicken or whatever, or like who's got the plug for like good food in the city, and then like somebody will be like, I work at so and so, come in, I'll comp your meal, and then he'll go in, he'll get free food. I'm like, yo, that's dope. Or who's got a plug for like, you know, the Nike store or whatever, and then he'll get us into like the Nike factory store or like some shit, and I'm like, oh shit, dude. So what I do,
fan reach out
straight up. So I reach out and I go, does anybody can anybody film, or does anybody have camera equipment? Can anybody help me out in whatever city? So I just reached out in New York, and I was like, yo, I need somebody to help me film. I'm doing 6 shows this night. I can't really pay much. I'll get you drinks, dinner, and like a little bit of cash, you know? And so this guy, Josh, was like, yo, I got you. And I was like, all right, cool, man. So he comes through and he films me, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, so what part of town do you live in? He's like, I live in Connecticut. I'm like, what? He's like, I drove here from Connecticut to film you.
Wow.
I was like, yo, that's wild. That's insane. So
but for New York, that's not that crazy.
It's a little crazy.
It's crazy, but not. It's like an hour and a half.
2 hours or so. Yeah, he was like,
I mean, it's dope.
It's really cool.
Josh, it's dope. I know you're listening.
Yo, thank you, dog. I appreciate you. So he filmed my 6-show night, and it was so funny. The last one was the funniest show because, so first show was a little light, and it was fun. It was like a fun little bar show.
Yeah.
Third one was probably the best show of the night. It was like one of those like cool indie shows.
Okay.
Then we go to the 4th one, and it's popping. It is popping. It's a club show.
Yeah.
And it is packed, like to like standing room, and it's one of those shows where like you got 10 minutes and you got out 4 jokes because the crowd is so hot that they're just over laughing,
right?
And like there's one drunk person laughing, and then they're laughing because one
you gotta
person
address it, and then,
you gotta address it, and then theyey're laughing because somebody's laughing so hard. It was
it's funny when you got someone who's dying.
It's always funny. It's always funny when, and it sucks when you're filming because you're like, bitch, I'm trying to film. Like, hey, stop fucking this up. Fucking up my flow. So the 4th show was fire. 5th show, I don't remember the 5th show. Or maybe that was the 5th show that was fire. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay. 4th show was like a very alt show. 4th show was a very alt show. There was a piano there. I played the piano.
Whoa.
And which I love doing. I made a rule.
You did that at a comic strip, right?
I did. I made a rule. If there's a piano on stage, I'm playing it.
Hey.
It's a new rule. And so I'm not good at piano. I know like 5 chords. And I studied I played guitar.
Right. You just play "Ooh Baby I Like It Raw" by Old Dirty Bastard.
That's all I do. Yeah, that's all I do. And chopsticks. But no, I just translate the chords from my knowledge of guitar. So I just translate like 5 chords or 6 chords, and I'll just play them in some sequence. So I play the piano at the indie show, then I go to the 5th show, and it's popping. It's popping. So I've had a good night. You know, I had a fun bar show. I had like a really great indie show. I had a popping club show. The first show, the staff was rude as hell, but that didn't ruin my night. I had a good set. And they invited me back, even though they were rude as hell. They were just rude. They were rude about my camera person.
So what did you do with all this footage?
I've been editing it into something. Dope. I'm editing a bunch of stuff. I don't want to give away everything that I'm editing. I want to get to the 6th show because it was hilarious.
The 6th show,
So the 6th show, we get there. It's at UCB Inner Sanctum, and they're like, I show up, I'm chilling in the green room, and I'm like, hey, how's the crowd? And they're like, it's a little light. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, no biggie. But I'm just chilling in the green room, and we're doing the thing. And then I get out there, there's 2 people. There's 2 people at the last show, and then one person walks in, then a third person walks in. So I sit down on the edge of the stage. I just have a conversation. At that point, what are you doing? You're not. It was fun though. I actually had a good time, and it's like I just had a conversation. I talked to them about where they were from, and like I did some like I told some stories, and it ended up being really fun. But it was just really funny going from this whole like amazing night to 3 people at this show.
What time was that at?
That was a midnight show.
Yeah,
3?
Yeah, it's low. I mean,
New York? It was a Friday.
Yeah.
3?
A lot of options.
You don't got like... I get there are a lot of options. Yeah. You're right.
It does, like, whenever that happens, and you're always like, oh, I should have brought... like texted a family member, like put some people from friends in the audience, just something.
Right, or like tweeted about it, or like put it in my Instagram or something.
Yeah.
But I had 6 shows that night, so like I had people come out because everyone wants to come to 8 and 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I have people at the 8 and 10 o'clock
Or
shows.
sometimes they want to come to the one at the club, whichever one
Right.
that is.
Or the one at the club, or
Yeah.
exactly, or whatever. Yeah, or whatever neighborhood they're in.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
But you were talking about editing, so you do a lot of editing yourself, right?
I do all my editing myself.
That's in Premiere?
In Premiere.
Nice. Yeah. I just edited my first pod last week in Premiere, yeah.
With the cameras?
It was the single cam, but I was still putting in the intro and the outro and syncing this audio to the cam.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. You're going to get better at it.
It's finicky.
I
think I need a new computer.
Okay. You're not using this guy?
I am, but it's 2014 MacBook Pro. Might be a little... It's okay.
Okay.
I think because I didn't shoot this one in 4K, but the last episode I did, and just converting it from 4K to 1080p, each file took 13 hours just to convert
13 hours?
Yeah.
13. I've never had a file take 13 hours. I've had I have footage of something that's 250 gigs and take 13 hours. 13 hours?
13 hours to change from 4K to 1080p.
Jesus.
Have you ever done that with like a large?
Yeah, I have.
Like a 2-hour file?
No, not a 2-hour file.
Yeah, so this is a 2-hour
See, that's
file.
The thing. My sets aren't that long, man. My clips,
right.
My clips are generally really short, and then when they are long, the camera will break it up into files. So it's like like 8 gigs here and like 9 gigs here or whatever. So really,
right, because you're using DSLRs.
I'm using DSLRs, so they'll break it up.
Right.
That's
crazy. Yeah. So that new 16-inch MacBook might be in my future.
Wow. Yeah, I think so. That's what I have a new MacBook. I just got like a 2019.
Yeah. They said 2019, the 15, and I don't know if you have a 13 or 15, but it's the same as this one. They just have made the screen a little bit bigger and nicer.
Yeah, it's big.
I'm gonna go look at it. It might be too big to like take with me. I have this like vision of me on the plane to New York.
Oh, you're trying to go on the road and shit with
editing it all down.
You know, that's what I got to figure that out too. I think that's my next thing. Is I got to get a good laptop to edit, because it's like what I do when I'm on the road. Because I'm on the road a lot.
Yeah.
I'm on the road way more than I would like to be, but expected to be.
Right.
And so I'll be gone sometimes for like 2 weeks at a time or 3 weeks at a time, or like I'm going to London for like 12 days, or I was in.
I love London. I could only live in LA, New York, or London.
I've never been to London.
Oh,
I've never been to Europe ever.
What?
This is my first time going to Europe, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're a real American.
I am. Well, it's not even that I'm a real American. My parents had no interest or like money really to go to London. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of people are like, oh, my family. We were.
I don't want to assume, but your parents are both Indian?
They're both Indian.
Okay.
Yeah. Good assumption.
Right.
Good assumption. Didn't do Conan, but my parents are both Indian. My parents, they never really had any interest or anything. It's funny because I sent my mom one year for Mother's Day to London. But I didn't go with her.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like she'd never been to Europe. So I was like, yo, let me send her.
What about your dad?
I don't think my dad's ever been.
So your mom went and your dad stayed home?
My dad stayed home. My dad works. So my dad couldn't get off of work.
Yeah.
And my dad owns a liquor store.
Okay.
And he works like 7 days a week at this liquor store.
Wow.
So he takes no breaks at all.
Yeah.
Which he needs to.
Yeah, OSHA.
He needs to. Yeah, absolutely. He will. He's gonna sell it and retire and stuff. But he never gets any time off. He never gets to go anywhere. That's his struggle.
Right.
He made that choice. That's him, man. It's on him. I feel bad.
Yeah.
But
You're first generation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they came here, sacrificed a lot for you to be here.
Yeah, for sure. And
but you're gonna have a great time doing shows in London. The food is great. I don't know, people always shit on the food.
People shit on the food. I hear
awesome.
The Indian food is good.
Indian food is amazing.
Yeah. Okay. You kept the guy with the recipe. I appreciate that. That's what it was.
Guys.
Kept a few. Yeah. Hey, yeah, he's got the recipe. Oh, he's a good cook. Yeah.
Yeah, Indian food's great. Just getting pints around town is just something about it. It's just so fun, and
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I'm excited to do some shows out there. Never been out there.
It's a great day drinking city, and it's might not be the best choice with your sets, but you kind of have one or two, right, when you perform.
Yeah, I generally do. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I do with editing when I'm on the road is I pre-edit. If I'm going on the road for 3 weeks, I'll have enough footage edited.
Right.
For the next 3. Like right now, I have footage edited until January 31st.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're talking clips?
I'm talking 2 to 3 clips a week, which I'm actually might even do 4 because I have so much footage. I got so much footage, and I'm ready to get rid of all this material.
And you're captioning?
Captioning everything.
So you're doing all the captions in Premiere?
Doing all the captions in Premiere.
And then you're creating like the thumbnails?
Creating the thumbnails. I'm creating thumbnails, captions, This is just Instagram. I also do YouTube.
Yeah.
Dropping 2 clips a week on YouTube. So editing YouTube clips, end screens, you know, thumbnails for YouTube as well, and all that stuff. And yeah, I've got all this footage edited until January 31st right
That's
now.
dope.
And which is cool. It's funny because I'm such a psychopath. I'm still editing shit.
Yeah.
Even though I'm like, you know, I got all that stuff. I actually just shot something really fucking cool in Atlanta that I was actually gonna edit. I'm excited to edit. Isn't that crazy?
That is exciting. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy because
it's insane.
But you get into a flow. Like I used to use Pro Tools for audio a lot, and once you really master a program, you're like, it's
fun.
Its own art creation. You're playing an instrument.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can do things how you want to do them.
Right.
So I just edited something funny. I'll show you after the podcast. I edited like a cheesy comedy intro. I'll show you. Like a juxtaposition of like a cheesy comedy intro. And so yeah, I shot something really cool in Atlanta. I did a club. So I did the Laughing Skull. I did a weekend at Laughing Skull, and it was crazy. Every show was packed out, and
hometown.
I did 12 shows, which was insane.
Yeah.
That weekend, and yeah, hometown came through. The new Instagram people came through. Shout out to this one girl who came to 3 shows. How are you gonna come to 3 shows? And I told her the second time, I said, I'm gonna do basically the same shit.
Yeah.
She said, that's cool. And then she came the third one, brought a bunch of people. And I was like,
what? Super fan.
Yeah, super fan.
Yeah, I guess it's also uncomfortable because then she knows how it's all done.
Yeah, kind of. Well, it was funny because the first one, she fucked up. She showed up, and she brought friends, and then I was on stage, and she started requesting bits.
Oh, no.
On stage.
Like, you didn't open the floor.
No, of course not. I wasn't like, any requests? Yeah, this isn't a fucking rock concert, you know? And even then, they don't do it. I've never seen, you know, a rock show where
Regan does that.
Regan, he takes requests?
Yeah, so after he does his whole show, I think he comes back out and he'll take requests for some of his classic bits.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe one day, when more than 4 people know, you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe when more than like 30% of the audience knows my jokes, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm out there just like doing jokes, and I wasn't having a great set. I was having an okay set, and then she was trying to help me. And be like,
you can do better.
Yeah, she was like, dude, because I was doing new shit because I was like, I brought people, fans and stuff to the show.
Yeah,
I want to give them new material, and it wasn't going great.
Right,
not gonna lie. And so she was like, this joke will kill, and I was like, all right. And then like she kept yelling it throughout the set, and then I go, all right, I'll do one, pick one. Yeah. I did it, and it crushed. I was like, yo, maybe I should just listen to it. Yo, maybe.
And that's funny.
Yo, I know. I was like, yo, maybe I should just like, what do I do next?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I talked to her after the show. I was like, hey, just so you know, don't do that. That's not nice. She was like, oh, I was trying to help you. I was like, I know your intentions were good, but in the future. So she felt bad, and she came to another show. Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to be quiet this time. And that show I crushed. That show I pulled out some old stuff.
See?
I was like, see how it works when you shut up? And so I had such a good show. She just showed up at a third show. The next week. So I stayed in Atlanta for a little while because I went to Alabama, and then I had a weekend in Minneapolis the next weekend. So I was like, I'm not gonna go from Alabama back to LA to Minneapolis. So I'll just go back to Atlanta, chill with my family, whatever. And there was this independent producer producing a show at a nightclub. Yeah. And it was like 150, 200 seat nightclub. It was really fucking cool. They did the stage like one of those in the rounds. Yeah. You know, but they didn't do, which by the way, I hate the in the rounds personally. Because you're cutting off 50% of the audience at all times. At all times, you're cutting off.
Your back is always to somebody.
Yo, I was watching the Kevin Hart special in the round. Yeah. And he's like doing comedy. There's a dude behind him not laughing. At all points.
Like not the same dude, a
different dude at every angle is not laughing because they're not looking at you.
There's no connection. But isn't there a screen?
There's a screen, but that dude's not every shot.
Yeah, he's just waiting. You're also waiting for him to come around.
Right. He's hitting a punchline. Everybody laughs, and you look, and there's like 4 people just.
Yeah, it's the boat sushi of comedy specials.
It's bullshit. It's some bullshit. I hate the circle. So what they did was they did a circle, but they only put people around the semi. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
So that's just the curved seating.
Yeah, it's curved seating, but the stage was a circle, which was really cool. I really like that.
Oh yeah.
Even though, because like I said, I don't like the circle if it's 360. This was just 180.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just people to my left, right, curved around.
Even I'm not a super fan of the venues that are super wide.
I don't mind that.
Like
I feel you. Yeah, when it's too wide.
When it's too wide and you're having to do this. Like,
you know what I like, and I've never done this.
What?
The venues that are like a stage and a catwalk. That shit looks cool as hell. Like the last Chappelle special.
Oh yeah,
or Michael Che Matters.
Right. It feels like a VMAs.
Yeah, it feels like an intimate performance.
Like Puff Daddy's gonna come out.
Yeah,
and start,
like you got something special out here, and then you come back here. Yeah,
you got backup dancers.
Yeah, straight up. I like the little catwalk. I've never done it.
Yeah.
It looks fun as hell, and it looks more intimate because you got people on the sides of the catwalk, in front of the catwalk.
Right.
I think that's really cool.
That'd be fun, yeah.
That'd be mad fun. That'd be really fun. But so we shot this thing in the circle.
Yeah.
And I got some incredible footage, and I did an hour. And so I'm thinking about, my plan is to build the YouTube draw in the following, the way that I did Instagram.
Right.
And
YouTube is so important.
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's very tough. It's very oversaturated.
Yeah.
There's so much shit out there, and YouTube wants you to post content. They want you to post like 3 to 5 times a week to start hitting the algorithm and start getting engagement, which I'm starting to do. I'm doing 2 a week now. I'm gonna start to do 3 to 5 a week soon.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that it'll start to pop off. My plan is that I want to build my subscribers and my following there, and then just release a half hour or an hour myself.
That's a good plan.
You know,
the channel, like I've been starting to build my channel through this podcast and everything, and it is challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to keep there's different tags and different things you have to do, and
there's a lot you have to do.
Yeah, because you're primarily Instagram, right? That's your biggest.
You know, I'm trying to do everything.
Yeah.
But I always say go where the love is.
Right.
And people tend to like me in that format.
Yeah.
And it's short and it's quick and it's sweet and it's cool because I can drop 30% of a bit.
Right.
Or I can drop, 40% of a bit, and then they can see me live and they go, "Oh,
see the rest."
I didn't even know."
Right.
I didn't even know.
They think they heard it before.
Yeah, and they go, "Oh, I've heard this shit,"
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they're like, "Oh, shit, the ending," or like, "Oh, that tag," or whatever. And so that's really fun for me as well, is getting people to like that. But I'm at the point now where I hate everything I'm putting out. Everything I'm putting out online, I'm done.
Right.
I'm done
You're
telling.
done. Yeah.
2020 is going to be all new material.
Nice.
I'm like the clips I have until January 31st.
Mm-hmm.
From now until then, I'm writing and developing new material, so I can come hot 2020 with a brand new hour.
What's your process? Are you a pen and pad?
I'm a pen and pad. I write every night for 2 or more hours. Sometimes I get into it. Sometimes I got writer's block and I'm staring at an empty pad.
Yeah.
And I force myself. I always say if I can write 3 funny things, I'll go to bed.
Where's the phone during this process?
The phone is around.
Yeah.
I don't get too distracted by the phone. I actually use the phone for inspiration a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll go in. I have my notes.
Right.
So I'll write, concepts all day. I have like 800 to 1,000 just like premise ideas in my phone.
Right.
And I'll scroll through them, and I'll usually write the most recent ones. But if I got writer's block, I'll just spin it.
Oh, like the Wheel of Fortune.
Like a Wheel of Fortune, and then stop. And then there's a page of like 8 premises, and then I go, no, that's stupid. Hey, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I never figured that one out, and then I'll start writing that one.
Yeah.
And I turn into an insomniac because of this, because I'm up all night trying to figure out how to make these jokes work, and a lot of times my mind just keeps going and going and going, and I'm up to like 2-3 a.m.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about doing comedy is I don't gotta be nowhere. Except unless I had a podcast to wake up to, and that's why I was late.
Playing Wheel of Fortune all night.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I have a very similar thing. I put all the ideas in the notes, and then when I'm ready, I transfer them to these pads. But then they go from here to Scrivener at the end.
Okay, you do that. You do. I don't do any of that digital stuff, man.
Because then I have like a set list. So I have like
you gotta pay for Scrivener, or is that free?
You have to pay it, but it's not like a subscription. I think it's like $40 or $50 max.
Is it worth it?
It's dope. Like I used to use Evernote, but it doesn't. You can't organize Evernote sequentially the way you want. It organizes by date or last changed or name.
Got it.
And this you can create folders. So I have like my act folder. I have the new bits folder. I have. It's a good balance. It's not too techy.
It's funny how organized we are, and how like I'll talk to like other comics, and they're like, I don't know, I just think of it, and then I just do it. And you're like, that's it? And I just write on stage. You write on stage?
I've been trying to be a bit more loose and just go up there with a premise and like a way of starting the joke and when getting out of it and trying to like play around more in the middle. But at the end of the day, I'm just more of a writing it down guy.
It's so funny because I was listening to all these podcasts with like Dalia and like Rogan and Tom Segura and so on and so on. Every one of them was like, yeah, I just write on stage, man. I just go with a premise, and I was like, I think it's funny. I kind of know where I'm going. I just go on stage and I figure it out, and then figure it out. And Chappelle and all these people. Yeah. I was like, yeah, all the greats are doing it. So for a whole week, I stopped writing.
Right.
I'm just gonna write down the premise in my phone. I'm gonna go on stage. I'm gonna figure it out. I bombed every single night. Right. Every single night. 7 nights. I was like, 1 week, I'm going to try this challenge.
Did it turn into something, though?
Nothing. Oh, yeah. Dude, you know what it turned into? Me realizing I'm not that guy.
Right, yeah.
It turned into me going, hey, some shit ain't for everybody.
Right, yeah.
Some shit ain't for me. Some people need to write. Some people, there's Seinfelds and Brennans and people that sit down and actually jot out and write everything out. And I'm that guy.
Yeah, that's how I am, too.
So...
If I'm on it, like the other step, which I don't do enough, which I'll commit to you verbally that I'm going to do is that after I've written it out, I just keep reading the joke to my recorder and playing it back and then being like, oh, well, and then reading it again, changing some stuff and playing it back. If I add that step, all my best bits were done because of that step.
I
stopped doing it.
You know what's funny is it's so funny because I see so many comics doing things where I'm like, yo, if you just had like a best friend or a girlfriend, you could figure it out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could just talk to somebody. So I have a girlfriend, which is so helpful. Because I can talk out my bits to her. Right. And then when I write a bit, it's like funny on paper and in my head. But then when you go tell somebody, you got to deliver. You know what I'm saying? So like it changes up. And sometimes I'll even like be talking to her and I'll be like telling her a bit and I'll just add a tag. And then I go, oh shit, that's funny. And I'll write it down or whatever. And it's so funny because it's like, I don't got to do none of this talking to my phone or talking to her. I just talk to her. I just go to her and go, hey, babe, what do you think about this? And she'll be honest. She gives me honest feedback. A lot of times she'll go, that shit's not funny. And I'll out of spite, I'll do it and make it work. Right. Or out of spite.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge now,
I got a lot of comedians who talk to me with their bits, but I just don't find like as I'm saying if I were to like pitch a new bit to you, as I was doing it, I would be like, oh no, but like when I do it, I keep like quantifying it like as I go.
It's hard to do it to comedians. We're judging every little thing. So I don't do it to comedians. I may do it to a friend, and they're more interested too. You know, if I'm talking to a friend who's not a comedian, or I'm talking to my girlfriend, they're more interested in, and I can like be more loose with it and not get so in my head about the structure or the timing or whatever. I can just go, this is what I was thinking. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
I have some friends that I talk to and generally just about life, and those conversations are so funny that they can lead to ideas.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I think talking to people, experiencing life, doing stuff, that's the best way to create material.
That's like to me, it was like the first interest in comedy is like realizing like, oh, wait, all the friends I really like are the ones who are funny. Like all my friends are funny. Yeah. And like all the good times I've had were just like us laughing about stuff. Yeah. Even in the recording studio, like it's a big, especially with rock bands, you kind of get to know each other and you're stuck in this sweaty studio for 9 months and you're all just like making jokes.
Yeah. 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 I mean, out of, pressure comes diamonds,
Absolutely.
That's how I feel, man. That's why like, anytime you're in an uncomfortable situation, the best way to get it, keep it going is to be funny. Yeah. Find the humor in it.
Or do Eminem's rap at karaoke.
Yeah, dude. You got to. How does it start? Anyone trying to bring trouble your way? What is the first line?
I have no idea.
Y'all know me, so same OG with the pen cake and all by Mosey's with no cheat.
That's and that was written by Jay-Z.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
Really? I had no idea.
S. Carter.
So anyone trying to bring trouble your way? I can't remember the first line. If I knew the first line, I'd be able to spit the whole verse. I swear.
And you're also you only do comedy, right? No day job. You support yourself in comedy. I mean, that's a big, you got to, give yourself a round of applause for that. That's a big deal.
I mean, I support myself, but I mean, I would like to support myself better.
Of course. Everyone would.
Grass is always greener. And now I want to act and I want to do all this other stuff. But
speaking of acting, I took the class on your recommendation, Leslie Kahn.
Yeah, how was it?
It was great.
I heard great things, yeah.
But you took it.
I took it a long time ago. Yeah, no, I've heard great things from people that have done it.
Oh, yeah.
Like taking it out of my recommendations. They're always like, "Oh, dude, it's great."
Yeah, I got a lot out of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You feel better?
I feel like it helped. it's another level of evaluating yourself.
Right.
Just the way you listen back to your sets or watch yourself on tape. It's another way of like diving in and understanding.
And even like interpreting scripts.
Oh yeah, even just like knowing the basic stuff, like this is single cam because of the spacing. This is not.
Exactly. That's great, man.
And really appreciating like how hard those actors work on those sitcoms, delivering those lines.
Dude, it's crazy because like the way I look at it, it's like, so I've been auditioning for like 3 years or so.
Yeah.
I get so frustrated because I go out constantly and I'm rejected constantly. I'm like, yo, do I suck? Like, is this?
That's the game.
It's the game, but also my girlfriend put it into perspective. She was like, did you suck your first 3 years doing comedy? I was like, I was horrific. She was like, give it time.
Right.
You're gonna get better. You're gonna nail more of these auditions and book more of these roles.
Is she an actress?
No. But she's just very insightful.
Wow, she's like a spiritual guide.
Yeah, she's great. Honestly, she is. And she wrote all my favorite jokes. No, I'm just kidding. It's funny because sometimes she'll take credit. I always don't, like, she's written 2 of my premises that I really like. And it's funny because sometimes there's one premise she wrote. She didn't write the joke. She'll be like, oh, I think this is funny. I go, oh, that is funny.
Right.
And then I'll write it out and I'll be like, oh, there's a tag, blah, blah. And one time I did a show and one of my favorite comedians came up to me afterwards and was like, yo, that one joke. And she was like, I wrote that. And I was like, no!
In front of him?
Yeah. I was like, yo, babe, like, let me have this. Let me have this moment. Right now. There's like one moment. And he was like, oh, cool. Like, I was like, no, just give me.
Oh, no.
Just give me. And I had to talk to her. I was like, listen, like, I'll thank you later and shit.
Right.
Like, just don't bring it up.
You get the first thank you on the rolling credits of my special.
Straight up. You're going to get the first.
Wow. So she's a legit comedian.
She's very funny.
All right.
She's
maybe
very
she's been
funny.
writing jokes for years, and
I
she's just looking for an Indian guy who can deliver them for her.
I think, comedy, it's funny. I actually just got a comment. Because did you see my joke about juuling and how people are dying from jewels?
No.
So I did this joke, and like I'm not gonna tell you the whole joke, but my favorite line in it is somebody's giving a jewology right now. But
oh, that's good. I like that.
Stupid. But in the joke, I say, people are dying from vaping,
right?
And I don't know how I feel about it because I've never met a smart person that vapes. Honestly, it feels like natural selection to me. No one's ever been like, well, according to Schrodinger's theory. It's never happened before. And I got a comment that was like, oh, wow, you're judging how smart people are and you're a comedian? I'm like, why do people think comedians are dumb?
Most comedians are really smart.
Most comedians have gone to Ivy League schools, are very intelligent, and that's why I think my girlfriend's funny. My girlfriend's very smart.
Yeah.
So I think, she may not be able to like deliver or write punchlines, but she can think of funny angles.
There's probably like a scale, like the smarter you get, the funnier you get, and then when you get ultra smart, you start to lose the funny.
You get ultra smart and you start to be autistic.
Right.
You start no social skills.
Right.
I think there is a skill. I do think there's a skill, but I do.
And
think
then that becomes funny.
That does become funny. Then it's like, oh, he's like a character.
Right.
It's
right.
Like a thing. I do think that there is. I think if you're intelligent, I think you're more likely to be funny.
Right.
You're more likely to find unique and interesting angles. Even if you're not funny, you're more likely to think the way a comedian would think, or think in that. Basically just find angles that aren't normally perceived.
Yeah, you're observing things, and also you're just not taking things too seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why a lot of Canadian comedians, because they can kind of come to America and see it differently
from an outside perspective.
Yeah, but still be very close to the culture.
Canadian comedians are so silly to me.
Yeah.
They always feel silly. I love them. I love Canadian comedians. They're some of my favorite comedians. I love Chris Gordon.
Oh, I love Chris. I did a show with him in Victoria at Heckler's.
They do
they
do 69ing stuff.
I don't remember, but he killed. So funny. Yeah, he's coming back and doing the Comedy Bunker in January.
I don't know what every time I see a set of his, it's different and it's crazy and it's wild. But I saw him do a set. And when is he coming doing Comedy Bunker?
January.
Okay, I wanna A, come see him, and B, I want to make sure I book him while he's in town. He's so fucking funny. He did a bit. I did a show with him. It was some bar show, and it was not even a good bar show.
Yeah.
I had a pretty decent set, and like all these comics were doing well. And he goes up, smashes.
Yeah.
And he just starts talking about 69ing.
Oh wow.
And so he does like 15 minutes or so. I think he was closing now, so I think they gave him a little extra time, like 15, 20 minutes. And throughout the set, he would somehow tie 69ing into every punchline.
Yeah.
I died. I remember just like losing my mind. I was like, how do you tie 69ing into this?
Yeah, he's definitely just, you know, some people are just funny.
Just
like they walk on stage and they're funny, and
Right.
he has that.
Yeah.
And coupled with being also like, you know, having great jokes and stuff.
Right. And
Yeah.
being, and like a great performer and everything.
Yeah, and just a good dude too.
He's
Yeah,
a great guy.
Yeah.
Canadians are also good people.
Hey,
Never met a Canadian that I'm like, I don't like this guy. I'm
they-
sure they're out there.
Start naming names.
Chris and no.
Yeah.
But everybody I've met from
There's a great collection. Every Canadian comedian I've met down here in LA has been great.
yeah, they've been awesome. Even in New York, I met a handful.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
awesome.
I just met this new Alex Pavone.
I love Alex Fone.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even realize. I forgot that. I keep forgetting he's Canadian.
Yeah.
He is somebody. He's someone who has like crack cocaine energy at all times. Was he? Did you feel like that?
I mean, he's high energy, dude. Yeah.
I love Pavone though. Really nice guy. Incredibly funny.
Yeah, he's so funny. Yeah.
Incredibly funny. Yeah, Canadians are mad funny, and that's what I mean. Like silly. Like Chris
Right.
stands out as someone who's like mad
I mean,
silly.
you have the Jim Carreys and
yeah.
the kids in the hall
Mm-hmm.
and all those things.
Yeah, I love Canadian. I love performing in Canada too, man. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I've only done Vancouver, but
Vancouver.
I'm dying to do Toronto.
I've done Vancouver and Toronto. Toronto's great.
I keep that is probably my most requested city.
Yeah.
Because my where my people are is L.A., New York, and then I think Atlanta, and then Toronto.
Yeah.
I think because of Indians, and I swear to you, if my phone's been on airplane mode,
Yeah.
I guarantee you if I take it off and I go to my messages, I have 4 messages right now. Come
Say
to Toronto.
Do Comedy Bar. It's great.
I'm dying to go to Toronto. One, I'm waiting for the weather to not be horrific.
Right.
So
Summer, you missed it.
Trying to do like March, April,
Yeah.
sometime like that. End of March, early April is what I'm planning.
Yeah.
But
I went with Eddie in July. We did a bunch of shows out there. It was great.
yeah,
So fun.
I'm excited, man. I've heard
Yeah.
great things about Toronto, and I can't tell you. I mean, that's one city I know I can sell tickets to.
Yeah.
People come out, I guess.
Right.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like New York, where people are like.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
down to-
It's a big. Yeah. People like doing things. They're very active.
Okay.
And
Cool.
there's not a lot of comedy options in town, you know,
Okay.
relative to like what we have here.
Great, man. Because I've
Yeah.
had maybe
All Dot
1,000
Comedy
people.
Lounge. You could set up you could probably do your own headliner show somewhere.
Yeah.
And then
I was thinking Comedy Bar.
yeah, Comedy Bar, and
Yeah.
then do a bunch of other shows around town.
That's what I was planning.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
always wanted to check out Toronto. I've only been to Vancouver.
Yeah, that's my hometown. I love Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver's mad fun, man.
great,
It's
yeah.
beautiful. It's like a nicer San Francisco.
Yeah, it's like if you designed a city with Legos and said this is how it should be.
People are so nice, dude. People thanked. This is something that blew my mind. People were thanking the bus driver.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I think like even the bus drivers are kind of happy, like relative
Yeah.
to the bus drivers
Yo,
here.
the bus drivers here are like they're like on the verge of suicide.
Yeah.
They're like one crazy person from all right, we're all dying. They're that
Right.
close. They're about to roll off the 405.
And maybe it's the free healthcare. I don't know. It's hard to, especially. I don't know if you've been to Victoria, but Victoria has one of the best comedy clubs in Canada.
Yeah.
And
I've been trying to. Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
good things.
and there it's even like if you think Vancouver's happy, Victoria's like next level happy.
It's so funny the difference between like Vancouver and New York. I was in Vancouver. Everyone that got off the bus, thank you. Every stop,
Yeah.
thank you. I went to
The
New
stereotypes are true. We're polite.
York. I went to New York. I get off a bus. The dude gets off and spits on the bus.
Oh yeah.
I'm
yeah.
like, yo, this is the opposite.
Honestly, I kind of growing up in Vancouver, though, when I got to lived in New York for a while, I loved it. Like I could absolutely live in New York.
I could live in New York.
Unlimited money, live in New York.
Yes, if I were, I always say that if I was a billionaire, I would live in New York
Oh, for sure.
immediately. I would say somebody like, what amount of money would you need? I think I need $250K a year,
Yeah.
maybe $300K
Yeah.
to live in New York.
That's achievable.
Yeah, it's achievable, but I still don't want to do it, man. I just don't like. I don't like the subway. I don't like how crowded. That's why I need the $300K, so I'll never have to take subway.
Yeah.
I need to be able to Uber everywhere.
But sometimes it's faster. You just got to do it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem to me. It's like,
All
why
right,
is that
then
faster?
just stay
Why
here.
is chilling with rats faster.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like the smells. I don't like how crowded it is.
Yeah.
I don't like the hustle. I don't like the weather.
But the food and like you live so much you live more in one day in New York than a whole year here.
They've got good food everywhere. I mean, come on, we got great food here. We got great sushi, tacos.
I'm getting hungry.
I'm getting hungry, dude. I haven't had lunch. Yeah.
We should go get some food.
We should get some food. Is there good food around here?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, maybe why don't we end with like what's next for Neel?
What's next for me? I'm gonna continue just doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's a really cool. One thing I really wanted to talk about on this podcast that we didn't get to exclusively was like we were talking a little bit about how I built my Instagram
right
and all that stuff. I really want to profess and I really want people to know that doing this, I did all of this out of spite of the industry, man. I had submitted.
You talking about clipping and stuff?
Yeah. Right. So I submitted for a special 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
I've auditioned for an industry festival. I mean, you're gonna know all this stuff. I auditioned for JFL. This next year, if I audition, will be my 5th year auditioning in a row.
Fifth.
Okay. Yeah. So 4 years in a row, I submitted for specials on multiple networks, and I'd submitted to do stand up on multiple shows and multiple platforms. Been rejected so many times, and I just built this plethora of material. And I was just not doing anything with it at all. The reason I started doing this was because of, I think, the godfather of the stand-up comedy digital game, Andrew Schulz. I featured for him, and he was so nice. He's the fucking nicest dude on the planet.
Yeah.
And he was letting me do 30, which unheard of. I've never let a feature do 30.
Right.
Okay. I'm not not that I'm a.
I mean, some people. That's sometimes a headliner.
What? Like
30.
Yeah, I know, right? So he's letting me do 30, which was so nice. And he watched it, and he watched me, and he goes, yo, that's so funny. This joke is great. This joke is great.
Yeah,
so I could see this joke going viral. This joke right here that your girlfriend wrote was really funny.
Yeah.
Joke, and so he was like, going through it, and I was like, yeah, man, I don't really like any of these jokes. And I was only doing it to impress him because I was like, I'm going to do this 30 minutes of old jokes because I'm going to kill.
You do your best stuff.
Do your best stuff. Yeah. And he was like, if you don't like it, you need to put it out there.
Right.
And he kind of showed me the blueprint for how to do that.
And when you mean blueprint, like the philosophy or like the technical?
The technical, how to film, how to edit, what days to put it out, the algorithm. There's a method. There's a method. And if you do enough research, you can figure it out.
Right.
If you do enough research, you can figure out how to edit and do everything you want to do. Ask questions too. If you know comedians, you know people that are doing it.
Right.
I can't tell you how many people ask me every day.
Right. I asked you to come watch you edit one day.
You're welcome to anytime, and I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
Because I had somebody who helped me and was happy to help.
Right.
Along the process, I hit him up, I texted him, and I asked him questions, and he was more than happy to help out. I'm selling out clubs.
Right.
I'm booking clubs and venues that wouldn't give me 10 minutes last year.
So you're saying, and that's irrespective of you having done late night?
Irrespective.
So
absolutely.
You would be in the same position had you not done late night in terms of your current draw.
Had I done late night and none of this, I would be selling 0 tickets and booking 0 venues.
Right.
I would be, maybe there'd be like one here and there or whatever. What I want to say is that regardless of the late night, I almost wish, it's not like I almost wish I didn't do late night. I mean, it was a great experience and it really helped me out. And also Jimmy Kimmel's the nicest fucking dude on the planet.
Right, yeah.
Such a nice guy.
You're just talking, it's not a knock on those things. You're just talking about building your business as Neel Nanda Inc.
Exactly. Yeah. What I'm saying is that you can do it regardless of the credits. Like, that's unnecessary. It's almost negligible.
Do you think too many people are clipping now?
I think it's getting saturated. I do. I think it's getting oversaturated. That's why I think what you have to do, and what I think Andrew Schulz has done, and what I think some people have done, is you have to be creative and innovative.
Right.
You got to figure out a way to stand out doing this. And that's why I'm going to show you this thing when we get lunch or whatever. I'm going to show you this thing that I think is really funny. And like, I want to do stuff like that.
Right.
And you don't have to do stand up. You can do sketch. You can do characters.
You can be whoever you want to be.
Yes.
And the internet will tell you if you have fans or not.
Exactly. It'll tell you if you have fans or not. It'll tell you if you're good or not. Also, if there are a bunch of people trying to reach this 13 to 19 or 13 to 21-year-old demographic, don't you think there's a lane open for 21 to 30?
Right.
Don't you think that there's a lane open? Like, don't you think that you can create funny content for who you want your audience to be
Right.
and do that really well, especially because so many thousands of people are trying to reach children.
Right.
Don't you think that there's a complete lane open? It's insane to me that no one's cornered that market, you know, or like, I'm sure I've seen people do it. I've seen people do it well, but so few that it's like, if you want to do that, you can do that. And I've done it with stand up, but you can do it with sketch. You can do it with characters. You can do it with podcasting. You can do it with so much. Like, you can do it
anything with a camera.
You can do it
any
with
content.
You can do it with cooking.
Yeah.
I follow a steak guy.
Dude, Maddie Chimber's cooking podcast is
Hell
dope.
yeah. It's fire. And I love watching, dude, I fucking scroll through these steak videos and get so hungry and like all of them.
Yeah, the hot wing people.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That has 3 million views. You can do it with whatever you're trying to do. And that's what's so beautiful.
As long as it's passion. If you care, people care.
And if you're authentic. If you're authentic and you care, you put in the work.
All media is about consistency now. So if you're consistently creating, that's in the long run just as powerful as having this one big like release moment of like your special, or if it's music or album.
And I think even that is oversaturated at this point. Your goal should always be to get your best content out there to the people and to build loyal fans. And I honestly think there's something special to where people discover you on Instagram, because then they feel like they discovered you.
Right.
They feel like they're your day ones. They feel like, so when I do a venue that's 400 seats, I don't sell it out with 400 fans. I don't. I sell it out with 140 or 120.
Yeah.
They go, I found this guy on Instagram. He's hilarious. They show 3 of their friends. Their friends go, oh, dude, we should go. They don't show their friends an hour of my material. They show them 2 bits, 3.
Right.
And then they go, dude, this guy's hilarious. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Now 4 people are coming to my show.
Right.
So really, to sell 400 tickets, you need 100 core fans.
Right.
Around. When I did San Francisco, I did all the math and everything, and I saw these tickets. Per show, I had between 100 and 150 followers. I sold 400 seats to every show. Yeah. So it's like, that's all you need.
Yeah. And Schultz did say something that stuck with me. It's like you have to earn the right to have an hour special.
I agree.
In terms of like the material. Like, why would someone just give you an hour of their time?
Right.
Give them like digestible bites.
Exactly.
Give them, and then like earn the right to have 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour.
What was I just saying about how I want to build my YouTube following until I can drop I'm not trying to drop. I could drop the 30 minutes right now.
Right.
I have that all edited, and I'm not going to drop it because I want to build exactly what you were saying. Give people a reason. Give people I'm giving people a taste right now.
Right.
I'm giving people slices of pizza, and then eventually you're like, I'm fucking starving.
I'm getting the whole pie. Let's do it.
Exactly.
Do you like this new comedy business and what you have to do enough? Because you seem like a guy who likes the editing, likes this new media, and is run with it in a way that's been successful. But do you like it enough where if someone said to you, hey, Neel, you don't have to do any of that stuff. You're big enough, you can do theaters, and you can just do the comedy.
Well, in that case, I'd probably have somebody doing it for me.
Right.
But you
would still do it.
Absolutely.
Right.
I love it, and I think it's engaging. I think it builds. I mean, dude, I'm seeing Russell Peters do this. Yeah. I was watching Russell Peters' page. He's dropping clips from his tour, which are hilarious. Yeah. The dude is hilarious.
I love Russell Peters.
I love him so much. Yeah. And he liked one of my bits. Shout out to Russell Peters.
Hey, Canadian.
It made my fucking life. He doesn't even know. He just fucking double tapped. Yeah. And I was like,
have you met him?
Yeah, I met him a couple times.
He's the nicest dude. Oh
so
my God.
Nice. So sweet. Had nice things to say about my comedy. He doesn't even realize like how much, like I grew up on that.
Oh, me too.
Know?
Yeah.
I watched every one of his clips. One time I got caught. I was in 6th grade and I was at a party and I stole one of his jokes.
Oh no.
6th grader. All right. Forgive me. Forgive me. Yeah. I was at a party and I was like, yeah, my friend Brian or Ryan, was it?
I don't know.
You remember the joke where his friend Ryan came over and was like, fuck you, mom. And he was like, I tried that. And my dad was like, somebody gonna get hurt or whatever.
Oh yeah. Somebody gonna get something. Yeah,
somebody gonna get a hurt. Yeah. And so I did that. I was at a party and I was like, yeah. So my friend Brian came over, whatever. Yeah. And somebody called me out.
Oh,
like, dude, you just stole that from Russell Peters. And I was like, and like 12-year-old me just
in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Atlanta, they know about the Russell Peters.
It was YouTube. He had that special on YouTube that went viral, and that's when I started quoting it like it was my life.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
But he was the guy who did it. This is the story from what I understand. I might butcher it. Sorry, Russell. But like him and his brother, I think was his business manager,
yeah.
And they just said, I think we're big enough that we could do an arena. and then no, everyone's like, you're crazy, you can't do that, what are you talking about? And they just like, well, let's just do it. And they rented Rogers Arena, which is like the Canadian Staples Center.
Wow.
And sold it out, and then they had to rent it again.
That's insane. Yeah,
and they just believed in themselves to do the DIY.
There's a lot of believe in yourself, and there's a lot of take opportunities you may not be ready for, or you may not think you're ready for, and then rise to the occasion.
Right.
I think that's a big part of this industry is like,
because that's how you stretch yourself. Yeah.
Bite off more than you can chew.
This podcast was that. It started audio, then I'm like, I think I could probably do video, and then let me get 3 cams.
Dude, yeah, I mean, dude, that was the editing thing for me. Yeah. I mean, that was the filming and editing. I never filmed anything.
Right.
Ever. I never edited anything. Ever.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go bigger. I'm going to drop 2 clips a week. I'm going to do 3.
Right. And now you're the guy who gives advice to other people.
Exactly, man. It's just bite off more than you can chew, and then figure out how to chew it.
Yeah.
You know? But what I'm saying is, like, I do love this. I think it's intimate. I think it's engaging. I think it builds an audience. I also think it's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's really fun, and it's a way to get my stuff out there. So, like, if I'm selling out arenas or whatever, I'm still going to put out content.
Yeah.
Whatever kind of content it is, you know. At a certain point, I'd love to not have to run around to every club with my cameras and tripods and sound equipment and plug in and do a mic check and blah, blah, blah. And then go home and look at the footage and edit it and go, oh, fuck, this camera got off of this angle or this blah, blah. I got to fix the sound. And blah. I would love to not have to do that.
You can outsource that. Once the income is at the right level.
Once the income, but it's like the same. If I do that, it's like, all right, cool. I'm giving half of my check to some dude, or I'm giving a third of my check. You know what I mean? At this point, But at a certain point, I would love to outsource.
Right.
That.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I'll ever stop doing it, and I don't ever want to stop evolving in that realm.
Right.
And I think that, it's funny because you can sit here and be like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not gonna make these sketches. I'm not gonna make this content.
Right. Be a purist.
You can be a purist and you can blah blah whatever, or you can evolve. You can change with the times. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's like the people who are like, like that were homophobic 10 years ago. It's like, you can be homophobic, whatever, whatever, or you can like evolve with the time and just change.
Right.
Like, it changes for the better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that was a weird analogy, but
Yeah.
I mean, even Chick-fil-A evolved.
I mean, I think you have to evolve, and also, like, to me, I think people also overlook email. Like, email is still such a powerful, especially for like shows and getting people to butts in seats. Like, it's old, it's not as sexy, but you control it. Like, there's no algorithm affecting email.
Right.
It goes person to box. That's it.
No, I'm not saying, and use whatever resource you have.
Yeah.
Whether it's emails, whether it's
Do you
blogging.
use email for your shows?
I do. I have an email list.
Yeah,
I do. Especially when I'm on the road. I have like email list per city.
Yeah.
And I let, like, when I'm in San Diego or when I'm in San Francisco, I blast out some emails.
What about TikTok?
I think the appeal is the fact that you can be nobody and blow up there.
Right.
But there's
a certain virality to it. That's the same way Vine had.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is it doesn't translate.
Right.
Because I'll see a dude or a girl or somebody on TikTok that has, 180,000 followers or has, 390,000 followers, and then I'll go to their Instagram and it'll be like 7,000.
Yeah.
I'll go to their YouTube page and it has 400 subscribers.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So it's like, if it doesn't translate, then why do I care? It's not going to get people to buy tickets.
Yeah.
It's not going to get people to actually follow me. It's just getting people to like these videos and move on. It's just like Vine, 6 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think what would be beneficial is if TikTok ended, because the way that Vine ended, people were like, wait, but I do like this guy. And then they went and followed them on other social media platforms.
Yeah.
So the only thing that would be good about TikTok is building a following, and then it crashed. And then I was like, sorry, TikTok's ending.
That's funny.
And if look at what TikTok used to be. TikTok used to be Musical.ly.
Right, yeah.
And that ended because that was dumb as hell. So TikTok was like, oh, we got to do something else.
It was an amazing pivot.
It was a good pivot.
As it stands today.
Sure.
Right now looking back, you're like, oh yeah, because Musical.ly could have just died and no one would have cared.
It could have just died, but they're like, oh fuck, we gotta do something. And it was a good pivot. It was a good pivot. And but I hope that I'm doing TikTok in the hopes that I build a following,
Yeah.
and then it just crashes, and then I can transfer those followers
Right.
to another app.
And you could argue that happened with Snapchat. Like Instagram's video was so strong, and its Instagram story is so strong that people just pivoted off Snapchat.
I guess I never really had a Snapchat following or a Snapchat thing.
Yeah.
People, I mean, kids still use Snapchat.
Yeah.
And aside from TikTok, Snapchat, all that stuff, I think regardless of what the app is,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of go where the love is.
Right.
Another reason why I did Kimmel first was because they were the first to respond.
Yeah.
And they were overly enthusiastic.
Yeah. It's like the saying also stuck with me: "Fuck with the people who fuck with you."
Fuck with the people who fuck with you. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I say go where the love is, but yeah, fuck with people that fuck with you. Yeah. I agree with that. And if you're popping on TikTok,
Yeah.
cool. You know, if you can turn that into something, if you can turn that into people buying your merch or ticket sales or whatever,
Yeah.
good for you. I
Right.
haven't figured that out yet. If you're popping on Instagram, amazing. If you're
Yeah.
popping on YouTube, that's incredible. If you're wherever you're popping, go where the love is. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a YouTube star, an Instagram celebrity, a Snapchat mogul. You know, I don't even know what the fuck to call them.
But you do kind of have to
TikToker.
test each one. You
I've
kind
se-
of you
yeah.
got you got to open them all up and see where you're bubbling, and then when you bubble here, maybe it augments this one. And
Right, exactly. Find where your focus is.
Yeah.
Find where you can, and then there's this cross-platforming, which is very hard to do. Like getting people to go from one platform to another.
Right. You mean migrating or just joining both?
Joining both, saying,
Yeah.
"Hey guys, like sub to my YouTube or something."
Oh
blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah, that's hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard because people are being told what to do constantly.
Yeah.
People are scrolling through celebrities' pages all the time. Hey,
Yeah.
swipe up to get tickets to this, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And it's
We're inundated.
who?
We're inundated by requests to act,
absolutely.
requests to click.
Absolutely, we're inundated. So it's difficult, but I think I look at it like put out as many portals of entry
Yeah.
as possible,
Right.
for people to find you and for people to binge you, for people to
Right.
have the option to binge you. Don't just put out one thing here and one thing there and whatever, because then it's like, all right, that's it. You're
Right.
moving on.
Right. Well, when you do go viral or whatever, people discover you. You want them to be able to have that catalog.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm not gonna knock any platforms. I'm not gonna
Right.
say like don't do it or it's stupid.
Right.
Even if I feel that way, I'm not gonna say don't do it, because I'm on it. I'm on everything, man.
Yeah.
I'm on all that shit. I'm on TikTok. I'm on
Right.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I'm on everything. I
Right.
put all my shit out there. So
I mean,
fine.
we're all noticing which ones are working better. I mean, there was a time when Twitter was dominant,
Right.
And now Twitter's it's hard to really gain momentum on Twitter.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I can't. Twitter's. I'm kind of like a spectator
Yeah, me too.
more than anything on Twitter. I just.
You have a lot more to lose than to gain.
Yeah, man. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to ruin my life over some
Right.
bullshit.
Right.
I'm not trying. I deleted thousands of tweets.
Yeah.
I deleted everything from when I was 19 to like 23.
Right. You shouldn't even be allowed to be on Twitter.
Yeah, there should be an age restriction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I agree.
Well, I think this has been great, dude. I think we talked a lot about stuff.
Yeah.
People are going to learn a lot about
I hope so.
how to do.
I hope I encourage somebody to do something.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope so. Thank you for having me, man.
Dude,
This was
thanks
really
for coming.
fun.
This is great. Let's go get some food.
I'm hungry as hell.
And thanks, Neil.
Absolutely.
Take care.